In a podcast land where thoughts collide, Brian and Craig will be your guide. No topic too small, no tale too tall. Tune in, laugh out, you'll have a ball. From mysteries deep to light-hearted jokes in a poker rhythm where laughter invokes. Untitled is their name, the fun untamed. Each episode a ride, this shows their claim. Untitled, Brian and Craig, get ready for a twist and a leg shake. In a quirky world where anything goes, join the ride as the madness flows.
Greetings and salutations, people. This is Brian and Craig, and this is Untitled, and we're starting. We're starting this thing.
And we just want to say sometimes we do a pre-show show.
Yes.
And our pre-show show today we were talking about our bladder sizes. Yes.
It was important.
Real men compare their penis sizes. Sorry.
No.
Whoa.
Whoa.
The boys compare their penis sizes,
Yes.
but real men
men
compare how big their bladder is. We talked about like how long we can go without taking a piss, and also like the thought experiment of how long you've counted while urinating.
This is what we do before we start recording. So basically, no matter if we're recording or not recording, we're doing the same nonsense.
Correct.
Yes.
And then we have a post-show ritual, which will forever remain a secret.
You do not get to know every show.
Every show. It's just for us. You'll never know. Shrouded in secrecy.
It is. We'll take it to our graves. Ooh, Brian has a cat.
It's Yuki.
I assumed as much. Yuki decided it's lap time. And who cares if we're recording a podcast? I'm a cat, and my needs will be met now.
Correct. Anyways, so I didn't do much, except I did two things. I purchased a Game Boy Advance game that was made in the year of our Lord, 2025.
Wow. I didn't know they were still making Game Boy Advance games. Like an actual cartridge? Or was
Yes.
it like, oh, wow.
This was a legit cartridge. And it's fitting because if you're familiar with it, the Shantae games from the Game Boy Color and the
I'm
DS.
not.
Oh,
Wait,
well.
Is that like the little genie
Yes.
girl? Okay, I am familiar. Well, I never played them, but I remembered seeing the box art when I was in stores back in the day.
Yes. So it's the sequel. So a bit of some backstory. They made a sequel. So the developers Way Forward made a game, a follow-up to their Game Boy Color game, and they just kind of scrapped it. And then they did other projects. And then in like 2011, 2010, they revisited the series with a DS game, and then they started doing everything else. They went back to that source file, and they're like, you know what? Let's just make this game again. We have all the files, we have everything. Let's just finish it off. And so they did, and they released it last year. And I now own a Game Boy Advance cartridge that was made in the year of our Lord 2025.
That's pretty great. And that's great business because everyone's clamoring for brand new Game Boy Advance games now.
Surprisingly, yes. I joined a Reddit just for fun, and they post so much. It's ridiculous. Like, I mean, I love the Game Boy Advance, and I'm a fan of emulation, and because it's easier to have your backups and share files and stuff than it is to hunt down a game that's like $50.
Right.
The other thing, have you ever funded something on Kickstarter?
I have not.
Okay.
I have seen things that I'm like, that's an interesting idea, but then I'm like, if I send them money, am I actually ever going to get the thing that they're selling? I don't know. I'm a Kickstarter cynic, I would say.
So I have kickstarted quite a few things.
That is not shocking at all. Not even a little bit.
And I actually only got skunked twice.
Okay.
I thought I got a third time, and this is where the story goes.
Okay.
So back in 2019 or 2018, there was this thing called the Fold Eat, right? And it was a lunchbox that folded up. It's an insulated lunchbox that like folds up, and it has its own like containers and like freezer gel, utensils and stuff, and it all folds up neatly into like a little lunchbox.
Okay.
Right? Well, apparently, we all know what happened in 2020.
I remember.
So when that happened, apparently I just thought the project died. There were no more project updates, nothing. And then in 2020, like right around 2021, they're like, hey, because I kickstarted the version that came with like everything. So it came with like three or four containers, the utensils, and like all that stuff, right? but I never got the mat. And then I just forgot about it until like February when they started posting on Instagram. And I was like, holy shit, they actually made it. And so I reached out to them and I was like, hey, I kickstarted this. Here's my backer number. I never received my product. And they're like, oh crap. Well, yeah, let's send that to you. And then they looked, and then like the next day they sent me another thing and they're like, hey, it's been a while. Do you want us to just resend you everything? And I was
Yes.
like, yeah, absolutely. And so this week I got everything and I was like, holy crap,
That's awesome.
it actually works. And I'm kind of excited. So yeah, I've never been more excited to get a lunchbox that I paid $50 for
6 years
almost 2
ago.
years ago.
Oh my. That's fun.
Yeah, yeah.
But so it only took, oh, you said 10 years. So did it start in
Nearly 10. I
Okay.
funded it in 2018.
Okay. So like 8 years seems like a long time to wait for a mailbox or a mailbox, a lunchbox. But I mean, you're happy, so that's good.
Yes, I wasn't like, skipping down the road, happy,
Where's my
but
lunchbox? I need it.
I can take my lunch to work now. I should have purchased this. I could have purchased a lunchbox 5 years ago.
Oh, that is a cool story. I'm glad I got it 8 years later. You got your entire product and that they
Yeah.
resent everything. But I have to admit, my favorite part of that story is something that people who weren't watching you as you were telling it will never know about, although I'm going to try to make them aware of it. It's that suddenly, I think a cat made a noise, and it wasn't Yuki because she was in your lap, and the confusion it was almost like a frightening, like you briefly froze. It wasn't like you kept talking. Like I don't think anyone the audio recording probably sounds completely fine, but it was like you were shook for about 2 seconds.
Yeah, they usually don't make those. It's a very
Yes.
unfamiliar meow.
It was like
So
it was the equivalent of when Scooby-Doo goes, "Arr!" but like it was strictly visual and it was wonderful. So I like that. And I'm glad you got your Kickstarter. That's cool. So in my world, we have slowed down on furniture things, but not completely stopped. We're like on methadone right now. We're slowly being brought back down to not just buying everything we see. We bought 4 throw pillows because apparently my wife did not like the throw pillows that came with our sofas.
I do not believe in throw pillows.
I am with you, my friend. I'm like, why do we even need them? Because the entire point of the like, well, when you sit down, the first thing you do is throw it away. Like it's not a thing that you need or want. It's like this is a thing that I keep on here so I can move it.
Whoever thought that throw pillows, like putting a shitload of pillows on something you sit on, was
Yes.
like high class. I want them to get punched in the mouth, like repeatedly. Because every time they try to say it's classy, you just whack them again,
Yeah.
whack them again. You just never stop until they're like, okay, maybe I created something horrible, because then now there are places you go, like say hotels, they have like 8 fucking pillows, and you're
Oh,
like,
hotels are the
I'm
worst.
only gonna need like one of these, and you just throw all that shit off.
Yep. Maybe some people actually use all 19 pillows that are on there. but I
How?
don't.
How?
Dude,
My question is how?
I said maybe
How?
because I don't understand it either. It doesn't make any sense. So I think
How?
I will say I think it does make the couch look a little bit better. It like gives color and everything, that kind of thing. But the point of a couch is to sit on. So I'm kind of with you. I'm like, if we could just not do throw pillows, I would be. I'm not as anti throw pillow as you. I do find them mostly dumb, but I think they look okay. And if it makes my wife happy, I'm fine with it.
So
But
you know why they call them throw pillows? Because you
throw
put
them
them on
away.
the couch and then you throw them away.
Yes. You throw them away as soon as you sit on the couch because they're a pain in the neck. Yes. I am on your side on this one, but not as hard. Not as hardcore.
Oh no, I'm anti that. I'm anti a lot of things.
That's true.
Not a lot of. I'm anti a lot of things that aren't really important.
Yep. Let's hear. You're anti golf
Of course.
because
Anti throw pillows.
we both are anti throw pillows. What else are you anti?
Anti.
What are Brian's antis?
Oh, I'm anti cooking show.
Oh, that's right. You don't like a cooking show.
I'm anti many states, specifically Ohio, Idaho, Texas, Florida, Michigan, obviously.
Well, Michigan doesn't
Utah.
exist. So you're anti like 22% of the United States.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I also got my tickets and hotel arrangements for Pokemon Go Fest this year. So we're driving to Chicago
Mm.
and we have to drive through Ohio. And our friend Snappy Badger. I'm not going
Yes.
to dox him. I was texting him and he's going and he said, "Oh, are you driving or flying?" And I said, "Oh, I'm driving down." And he goes, "Oh, you get to drive through such great states as like Ohio." And I said, "Yes, I'm excited to lock the doors and speed up and never step foot in that nor roll down the windows."
So you're gonna roll entirely through Ohio without stopping? Is that
Absolutely. I'm going to make
okay?
sure that I've
You,
stopped right at the Ohio
the,
state line.
Pennsylvania, you're gonna be like loading up. Does Ohio hit? It doesn't hit. You're gonna have to go through something before you get to Ohio because it doesn't
Yeah, I
touch
think it's another state, like
New York.
briefly.
Probably Pennsylvania.
I can't remember which state it is.
You're gonna fill up with gas in like on the edge of Pennsylvania,
Yep.
and then do the spiritual equivalent of going, and then holding your breath,
Yep.
and then just try to hold your breath through the entire state of Ohio.
Yep. I will, however, possibly maybe see Michigan. I may see Michigan. If I see it and it's real and it's not a void, well, you know.
Your entire faith system is going to be going out the window here. I don't know if that's good.
I'll just be shook, just like
Oh,
you know, thousand yard stare.
I used to believe in things. I used to understand the world, but now I've seen Michigan.
Yes.
I don't think you have to go through Michigan to get to Chicago. You'll
No.
go through Ohio, Indiana.
No, I checked the route, and the route is like right on the borderline. So
you might be able to keep your faith system intact. That's good.
yeah.
Okay. Did you make a detour just to test, just to see, and then take a picture and be like next to the Michigan "Welcome to Michigan" sign, the alleged "Welcome to Michigan" sign?
It might be worth it.
I think it'd be good. I would love to see that photo.
It might be worth it.
It would make me happy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyways.
You might try that. So anyway, I learned about some things this week. You introduced me to girl dinner a few months ago.
Yes.
And apparently I do that.
You do.
Because Gen Z is the worst. I mean, they're not necessarily the worst. I don't want to throw the whole generation under the bus. They just have the worst ideas, perhaps.
I mean, we could just start over. Like, just recall them and then just start over.
We're having a generational recall. If you were born between the years of 2002 and 2016, you have been recalled.
Yeah, just try again. We're just gonna give it another shot. We're
Sorry,
gonna try it
kids.
again.
Are you familiar with the concept of boy kibble?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. I learned about it this week. And if you're already familiar with it, that makes me kind of sad. But yeah, apparently this is a thing where at the beginning of the week, single young men cook up a bunch of rice and beef with like no seasonings.
First of all, that's an affront to God.
I don't disagree with you necessarily, although I did make something very similar to that. I made a casserole because my wife was like, "Hey, can you make this beef and rice casserole?" And I was like, "Okay, fine," because she was coming home from work late and we needed to eat dinner. So
yeah,
I sort of made it, but I put in seasonings to make it taste good and vegetables and other things. But what they do, I don't love it either. It's not my favorite, but it was okay.
Some people just worship Satan. Like that's how it goes. Like if you don't put seasoning on it.
Yes. Oh, if you don't put seasoning in it, what are you even doing? What are we even doing here?
Like you got to have the Holy Trinity, man. Salt, pepper, garlic powder. If it doesn't have those things, it's not food.
I put all three of those things into the casserole that I made, so you'll be happy to know that. And it tasted all right. Like it wasn't my favorite meal, but it wasn't boy kibble. Because what they do in boy kibble is they put rice and beef in the same pan. They cook it together, and they cook an enormous amount of it, Brian. And then they put it in the fridge, and they just eat the same thing like a dog eats kibble all week because it's cheaper than going out. And then they think that it's funny that they're just eating the same thing every day that has no taste.
That's just called meal prep. Like that's like basic fucking meal prep.
Except you're not actually preparing anything that tastes good. Like that's an actual meal. You're preparing beef and rice with no seasonings.
Listen, I have been known to eat beef and rice, but I season my shit.
Right. I know. You are not the kind of person that would indulge in boy kibble. But yeah, these guys are making this and then taking pride in the fact that they have no culinary sense whatsoever. And I will say though,
I do make chicken and I shred it and then I put that in the fridge and I use that for like sandwiches or like chicken tacos, and I do the same with ground beef. So, you know,
I'm not opposed to making several meals at once.
Yeah.
My wife does it all the time. She'll cook like 3 meals in one night and then we'll eat them over the period of several days. She does not like it when I call it pre-made leftovers, which is what it is. but she doesn't like it, so I don't call it that anymore
I
because
mean, it's just meal
she
prep.
gets mad.
Like that's all it is.
It is.
It's just
It
meal
is.
prep.
But a meal always tastes better when you eat it immediately after you've cooked it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But that's okay. Actually, that's not entirely true. If you have lasagna and you let it and you let it sit overnight and all the like flavors blend together and stuff, then it's better
Mhm.
the next day. So there are some things that are not better immediately after being cooked, but most things are. So anyway,
True.
I learned about boy kibble this week. We did
Mhm.
trivia again this week. This is 3 weeks in a row I've done trivia. Not all at the same place,
Mhm.
but our team name this week was A Complete Unknown.
Matt in UNOWN.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
And once again, for the 6th consecutive time, we won first place. And I think I'm of two minds because I always want to win because I'm competitive and I like winning.
Mhm.
But I'm also feeling sorry for the people that we keep beating every time we go. Beginning to wonder if we're like I don't have any like hard evidence that they're becoming annoyed with us. But if someone
Mhm.
beat me 6 times in a row, I think I'd start to be a little bit I don't know if jealous is the right word, but a little bit annoyed
A
that I
little bit
couldn't beat
salty.
them. Yeah, it's like when the Patriots won every Super Bowl for a while and
Yeah,
everybody
nobody
hated
liked
them.
that.
I don't want to be the Patriots, but at the same time, I don't want to lose just because. I mean, it's not my fault you suck at trivia. Like, get
That is
better.
also true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
just do better.
yeah, just do better, people. So anyway, so we won again. This is a recording. We're due to lose though. We probably need to lose. It'd probably be
Yeah.
good for us. I think our heads are getting too big so far.
Just
Yeah,
like the
we continue
Sabres.
to win.
They had to be taken down.
Oh, did the Sabres lose a game?
They lost they won 8 games straight and then they lost to the Capitals. And I think they
Oh.
play the Leafs tonight.
The Avs play today at 2:00. The Nuggets play tonight at 8:00. So I've got all sorts of sports tonight, although none of it's football, but that's okay.
Sports. I like sports.
Diversify your portfolios.
Yes.
Gotta hit all of our points.
Thank you, Nudie.
Yeah. The other thing I was going through my bathroom closet, or not closet, but like the cupboard thing. What's that thing called?
Mhm.
Medicine cabinet deal. Yeah.
Yeah. The medicine
Right.
cabinet, yeah.
I think we've probably mentioned this before, but in case we haven't, or we have a new listener who's never listened to us before, it is important that I note that I am bald, and not like bald like the guys that get the really big poofy things on the sides.
No, he has no hair. His hair has fallen out.
Every 3 days, I have a thing that I shave my head with entirely to keep it high and tight, like very, very
okay.
tight. Yeah, like I have no hair on my head.
Okay.
But I was going through my medicine cabinet. I own a comb, Brian.
You mean your wife owns a comb?
No, this is my comb. It's not hers.
It better be for your beard.
I guess I could use it for my beard, but I have a comb and it's in my medicine cabinet with all of my bathroom stuff. And Brian, it doesn't make any sense. So I was going to get rid of it, but Brian, I just couldn't part with it.
I think you need to let go. Remember, does it spark joy? No, throw it out.
Brian,
Marie Kondo that shit.
I couldn't part with it.
I hope your sock is always falling down in your shoe for the rest of your life. I hope your belt loop gets caught on every single doorknob. I hope just the most annoying stuff happens to you all the time.
Brian, you love me.
I hope you have the most semi-annoying life.
What a curse. It's a curse from a genie whose heart isn't in it anymore. Like, may your life be mildly annoying at all times.
Yes. I hate it.
It's true that I own a comb, but it's also true that I told most of that story just so I could do that.
And with that, I hear something coming along the wires.
The news. Brian's still recovering. I love it when I get him. I really, truly love it when I get him. Oh, it was very good.
And he always knows where I'm like semi-distracted too.
I do. Yeah, it's funny. But then my favorite is when I say it and then you just keep going. And then I have to say it again in that way that then he gets it. It's the best. It's the best, Brian. It's my favorite part of doing this show is when I get one of those off. We begin the news in South Korea, and law enforcement in South Korea has a few things to learn about the modern world, I would say.
Okay.
South Korea's National Tax Service seized around $5.6 million worth of crypto holdings from 124 high-value tax evaders this week.
Oh no, crypto bros avoiding taxes?
I know, it's shocking. They were caught and their assets were seized, Brian. So like the law was doing their job.
So they like grabbed their hard drives?
I don't know how they seized it, Brian. I'm not sure how that happened.
Hmm.
But here's what you know how like when cops do a big drug bust and then they like pose with all of the
Oh, yeah, yeah,
drug
yeah.
paraphernalia and stuff, be like, this is what we're keeping off of your streets.
Yeah, like I've seen those, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The South Korean police did the same thing with like ledgers and all the things of the crypto that they seized. They took a press photo with all of this
Yeah.
stuff, but it had like all of the keyword phrases and stuff that were on the paper that you could zoom in on and actually read.
Yeah.
And 4.8 million of the 5.6 million dollars worth of crypto immediately disappeared because somebody saw, oh look, here's all of the information I need to take that crypto, and they just yoinked it right out of the crypto purse because the cops posted everything you need to take it in their press release.
I mean, honestly, that's at that point, that's the perfect crime. Like,
Yeah, it's gone, and no one will ever catch it because it's crypto, and the whole point of it is that it's anonymous.
yeah, I'm gonna be real. If I saw that, I'd have taken it.
I mean, I probably would have too if I knew enough about how to do it, but I mean, I don't. So, but yeah, they blockchained themselves right out of $4.8 million that they had seized, and now it's just gone into somebody's crypto wallet,
Yeah,
which I think
that's like
is
the whole
hilarious.
thing where it's like, how many ounces of cocaine did we seize? 32 ounces. How many ounces with that?
It's
28
26.
ounces.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, what? Just keeps going down.
It's going down, but the productivity in the department has shot through the roof. So there's that.
Where did all our cocaine in the evidence locker go? I don't know, but we're closing cases at an amazing rate.
I can't sleep. I can't do anything except just shake right over here. But we're closing cases. Everything's great. I don't know what happened.
I can't stop solving cases.
All right, our second story comes to us from jolly old England. Did you know that in England they call the emergency department the hospital A&E?
Yeah, I've
Accidents
heard
and
that.
emergency. Yeah, I had to Google what A&E meant 'cause I'm like, what is that? But a British
The
man went.
hospital, arts and entertainment.
That's what I was thinking, and that doesn't make sense. But a British man was rushed. He rushed himself to the A&E this week because he woke up and his skin had turned blue, like he was a Smurf, or like he was Tobias Funke from Arrested Development, and he had blue
Yeah.
himself.
Okay.
Dude was blue, like his
Mhm.
skin had turned almost entirely blue. And his friend took one look at him. I don't think he noticed it at first, but then his friend saw him and he's like, "You need to go to the hospital because you are blue." And he was a little bit
Yeah.
scared, so
Okay.
he went to A&E,
Mhm.
looking like, as he described himself, an avatar, which
Okay.
I thought was pretty good. The emergency ward staff put him on oxygen, and then they went to put in an IV, and so they rubbed his arm with a swab, and then
Okay.
the swab turned blue, and they're like, this may not be a medical emergency. And they're like, what's going on here?
Was this just an elaborate prank?
No. He thought he might be in actual trouble when he saw himself. He didn't know what was going on, so that's why he went to the emergency room.
Okay, that's fair.
To A&E. So, but then they started like wiping him off a little bit, and the blue
Mhm.
would start to come off, like not entirely, but like they were removing the blue.
Yeah.
It turns out he had just been given a new set of sheets, and they were navy blue,
Okay.
and he
Yeah,
hadn't washed,
and
he
the
hadn't washed
color
them.
migrated.
Apparently, the dye had not set very well, and so he had turned
Yeah.
himself entirely blue by sleeping in his bed. He said he gave them a good laugh, but he and the people said, "Well, we don't usually get good humorous stories in the A&E, but this one was
Yeah.
pretty good." He had to take about 6 showers, he said, to get rid of the blue because it just was
Jeez.
so intense.
Yeah, that sounds
But
right.
he has since washed his sheets, and he's no longer returning to a blue state when he sleeps in those sheets anymore. So everybody in the emergency room, he said, thought that I looked like a ghost when I walked in. They put me on oxygen, asked me all sorts of questions. He had 10 doctors around him at one point. But then when they wiped his arm and the wipe went blue, they're like, "Oh." He's like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry," because he realized what had happened.
Yeah.
They thought it was absolutely fantastic, but I was mortified, is what he says.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course you would be.
Yeah. So if you get
Well,
new sheets.
luckily in London, they wouldn't have charged him, so
Exactly. Socialized mess in there. So he's got that going for him, which is nice. But how much
Which
would
is
it have
very
cost if
nice.
you in the United States if you had gone into an emergency room because you were blue, and they probably would have charged you like $12,000, would be my guess, something like that.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Yeah. So anyway, always wash your sheets before you sleep in them.
Yes.
Little word there to the wise.
Word
Those were-
to the wise.
And finally, Brian, I'm just going to read the headline to start on this one because the headline is spectacular, Brian.
Okay.
Camel pageant thrown into chaos after 20
Camel
pageant
hold on. Camel
Camel-
pageant thrown into chaos. Okay.
after 20 competitors disqualified for using hump plumping injectables. Yep.
Hump plumping.
Hump plumping injectables. Brian, did you know that there's such
Is
a
that
thing
like-
as
I first of all, no.
camel pageants?
Yes. First of all, what the hell? Second of all, what?
Okay.
Er-
On top of this, Brian, would it shock you to learn that there was over 60 million in prizes for the camel
That
pageant?
actually would.
Also true. The camel beauty pageant in Oman was plunged into chaos as 20 competitors were disqualified after their owners enhanced their humps and other features using injectable fillers, silicone wax, and Botox.
I
Yeah,
I-
last
I-
month,
I
Brian is speechless.
I just okay.
Yeah,
You know what?
I-
Okay.
Yeah. Last month, veterinary inspectors at the 2026 Camel Beauty Festival in Al Musana, Oman, discovered that the camels had undergone several cosmetic procedures to enlarge the size of their humps using a mix of injectables similar to dermal fillers used on humans. The disqualified camels had received a mix of injectables, including a hyaluronic acid injections for pouty lips, dermal fillers around their nose, Botox to soften their faces, and silicone wax to inflate their humps. Yeah. Festival organizers are working hard to halt all acts of tampering and deception in the beautification of camels, Brian. It's an important thing, and I think we should all stand behind it. They're going to impose strict penalties on manipulators. Brian, there are $60 million at stake in determining who the most
I guess
beautiful
that's
camel
why
is.
people were doing that. But
Of course
like,
it is. Right. It's a different culture, Brian. We don't understand it.
I don't understand
But
that.
there are
That's
things
like
called camel pageants.
okay.
The main thing that the
All
camels
right.
are judged on are 4 key features. What do you think those are, Brian?
Hump, face.
Close. Well, face-ish. Their coat, how shiny it is, that's important.
Okay.
Their
That makes
neck.
sense.
If they have a long
Okay.
and muscular neck, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Their head, including
Okay.
having long eyelashes and plump lips. These are important in camel beauty. And of course, just like American pageants, having plump and defined humps.
Plump and defined humps. Yes. Also true. Also true.
Yeah, there's no difference. There's no difference in either pageant. That is very important, I would say. Yeah, in the camel breeding industry, pageants are taken very seriously since the trophy comes with multi-million-dollar prizes, investment, and increased tourism because people always come to see the most beautiful camels. Winning an event will also increase the value of the camel when it goes for sale. So
I
they've got
honestly
a
thought you were going to say was going to increase the size of their humps, and I was going to laugh.
it does not increase the size of their humps, although apparently the injectables do. So those camels. Do you think that like the less attractive camels go, oh, they got a hump job, and they're just like kind of like treat them bad?
Everyone knows. Everyone knows. Racquel's hump is made of silicone.
You got those silicone humps. No one's impressed, Racquel.
No, that's totally like rolling the whole name Racquel under the bus. I don't know why. That's like the first name that came up to my like.
I like-
Racquel sounds like a person that would get silicone.
It does, or a camel that would.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would use rubber bands on the animals to make some of the body parts look bigger or restrict the flow of blood to other places.
That's also how you castrate a cow.
Dude, I don't know. It's a camel, not a cow.
I mean, that's how you castrate farm animals.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. If you want to turn a bull into a steer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems I don't know. Camels probably don't need Botox. Let's just have them. Let's base them on their natural beauty.
I think a lot of things don't need Botox, man.
You're absolutely right about that. So, hey Brian, how about all camel bodies are beautiful?
All camels are valid.
Yeah, all camels are valid. I think that's important there. So yeah, the club is keen to halt all acts of tampering and deception in the beautification of camels, Brian. And so they're going to be now using advanced technology to uncover tampering with camels. You know, if you're gonna be entering your camel, make it a naturally beautiful camel. Let's not crimping them up with things that shouldn't be injected into camels. So anyway, I'm
I
Craig,
agree.
and that is the news.
All right, Craig. Have you heard about the dancing plague?
The dancing is this where you get some kind of disease and then you just start dancing and you can't stop?
Yes.
It is. Oh, I guessed it correctly?
It's also pop quiz. When was the War of 1812?
Okay, fine. It wasn't that hard to guess.
So
1814.
correct. This sounds like total bullshit, but it's completely real.
Okay.
And this happened in July of 1518 in the city
Okay.
of Strasbourg. I don't know where that is.
That sounds like it would be in Sweden.
I mean, it's somewhere in the Holy Roman Empire. So
Okay. Okay. Strasbourg?
Strasbourg. Actually, probably Germany. I would assume Germany somewhere.
Maybe.
Apparently, a woman just started like silently gyrating and doing an odd shuffling dance. And she did it for like nearly a week. And like 3 dozen or more people joined. And then by like August, there were 400 people. And literally no one knew what was going on. Like they're
Well,
like,
somebody
is this some crazy religious cult? Is it hot blood? And the only way they can do it, the only way they can get rid of it is if they just like boogie down.
and someone
Like,
just started playing Mr. Brightsides by the Killers. That's all that happened.
yes. Wow. It's weird how Germany is just like Western New York.
Sausages.
So
That's the key.
sausages. So apparently it was so bad. They're like, well, shit. So they just built. They didn't know how to stop it. So they built the stage, and professional dancers were brought in, and the town hired music, and then they're like, oh, this is gonna work, right? Because they fight fire with fire, right?
Right. So if you're dancing, let's just get it all out of the system, is what you're saying.
Well, apparently that was not the case because
Uh-oh.
people were dying from heat exhaustion, strokes, and heart attacks because they couldn't stop dancing. It's basically how a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the 6-7 disease. Yeah, this was
Yes.
the real thing.
The real 6-7 disease. They're just twitching.
Yeah, they're just like dancing around. And like it sounds like bullshit, but it is apparently like incredibly well documented
Okay.
because it happened for like a month and a half.
Has it happened again since anywhere else? And did they uncover? I mean, it was a long time ago, so medical science wasn't quite at the level that it is now. Did they uncover what was causing it?
No,
Has it happened again?
not recently, no. But anyways, the people, so this basically went from like July to September, and then the people dancing were eventually taken to like led to a mountaintop shrine to pray for absolution, and apparently that helped some people.
Praying for absolution did. Well, I mean, if you've got dance fever,
Yeah.
yeah,
According to a historian,
can't stop laughing.
a Catholic saint, Saint Vitus, cursed people to dance until they died. That,
Curse them to
combined with
die.
the horrors of disease and famine,
Oh,
which were tearing through the Europe at the time, caused a stress-induced hysteria. That is what people think.
so it was all in their heads.
Yeah, basically they basically were so traumatized they just started dancing and couldn't stop.
They're coming out of their cage and they were doing just fine.
Yeah, well, they went to a mountaintop to pray.
I was just quoting lyrics to Mr. Brightside.
Yeah, I know. I just totally ignored
Yeah,
that.
okay. You're like, I'm not gonna mess with your nonsense
Yeah,
anymore,
I'm
dog.
like, nah, I'm done. The other suggested issue or cause was ergot or ergo. It's a toxic mold that grows on damp rye and causes spasms and hallucinations. So,
That's fun.
yeah.
Has anyone tried that recreationally?
Well, I mean, shit, people huff bath salts. Might as well. Let's go back to like 1518 and give that a shot.
We're gonna party like it's 1587.
Woo!
Well, I got to be down because I want it all. I'm sorry. I'll stop doing that now.
All right. So what do we got? We got the dancing
Look at
plague.
stuff. Yep.
We got people who can't stop buying furniture.
Yep. Oh, we got lots
We
of
got-
things.
Well done. We got crypto, stolen
We got
crypto. Well,
Stolen crypto.
restolen crypto.
We got camel beauty pageants. We got guys turning blue. We got things,
And
man.
guys turning blue. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay. We're gonna start out just a regular camel. He's not a beautiful camel.
Live
Actually, she's not
action or animated or
We're
like
gonna do
CGI.
that thing. We're gonna do that thing that Disney does, where they redo one of their animated classics and they call it live action, but it's entirely computer animated. Like when they did The Lion King, and then they redid The Lion King, and they called it live action Lion King, but it wasn't live action because it was just computer animated instead of human animated or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be like that kind of thing.
Okay.
And our camel, what was her name? Jacqueline? No.
Racquel.
Racquel. Yes, we're gonna have Racquel. Racquel is not. She's not an ugly camel, but she's got regular sized humps. They're not. She doesn't need a double D sized hump bra. Is that a thing? That's probably not a thing.
No, she needs those double G's. That's perfect. Double G's.
Double G camel. She's got, she's like a B cup, something like that. She's not ugly. She's an attractive camel, but she's probably not going to win any beauty pageants. But she wakes up and she's fine with that. Like, her life is not all about being the most attractive camel. She's well adjusted. She has friends. She has a great life. She's working as an accountant. Like, she's doing.
I was going to say, I bet she's working as an accountant. Literally just thinking that. Sorry, continue.
Great minds. It's fine. And so Racquel, it is Racquel, right? Why can't I think of that name?
Yeah,
Racquel. Okay, so Racquel wakes up one morning, getting ready to go to her accountant job. She has breakfast, and she's getting all ready, and she walks into a room. She shares a flat with her friend. Her friend is not a camel, though. Her friend is a
naked mole rat. Naked mole rat.
I'm gonna go porcupine. She has two roommates. One is a naked mole rat, and one is a porcupine.
Yeah, there we go.
The three of them live together in a flat in West London.
Okay.
And then the porcupine and the naked mole rat are sitting down having cereal, waiting for Racquel to come on out because Racquel usually makes the coffee. Both of them, their names are Penelope, that's the porcupine, and the naked mole rat's name is Frida. So Frida and Penelope are sitting there waiting for the coffee to be made, and Racquel walks in, and they both like drop their spoons, and their mouths are agape, and they're like, "Oh my god!" Yes. If this were a comic strip, it would have like the Batman, like with the exploding. Instead of it saying "boffo" or "bang," though, it would just say "gasp." Racquel is blue, like not a little bit blue.
Racquel is
overnight.
Just a little bit
she
blue?
has turned. No, not a little bit blue. She's all the way blue.
Oh,
She has blue. Yeah, she has turned entirely blue, like entirely blue. Like there's nothing that's camel colored
Gasp.
on her anymore. Yes.
gasp.
Indeed, sir. And they're like, Racquel, are you okay? And Racquel has no idea that this has happened. And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. What's with you? And then
What are you
they
guys
can't even.
doing? What are you doing?
What's going on? Why are you
What's
guys
going
all have your mouths wide open? Why are we talking like a weird Jerry Seinfeld? I don't know.
I
Anyway,
don't know why we were doing that. Anyways,
it just happened. What's the deal with all these blue camels?
what's the deal?
She's blue.
Anyways.
And they don't know why she's blue. And she doesn't know that she's blue. And Penelope just holds up a mirror and like, you got to see this. And she looks at herself and she is blue. And she is beautiful. Like something about a camel turning blue, it really alters
That really
the
does it
camel's.
for you, huh?
It really, well, it does it for everyone. Like she's stunning, and everyone says so. Like no one's ever seen a blue camel before, but it turns out if you have a blue camel, you're onto something here in the beauty department. So she just tries to go to her job at the accounting firm, but like everyone is staring at her, and like she's getting cat calls, and she like from actual cats, cat calls.
Oh, from actual cats. Okay.
From actual cats, and like because this is like an anthropomorphic world of animals.
Yeah.
So everybody is just like stunned by how beautiful Racquel is now that she's blue.
Okay.
And she gets to her job, and suddenly, accounting, even in the animal world, is a male-dominated field. And I don't know if that's true in our world, but doesn't. Just bear with me. That might not be true in real life, but in this world, it is.
Bear with me.
Bear with me. Yeah, the boss is a bear, and the boss walks over to Racquel and starts flirting with her heavily, because like suddenly she's like, she's beautiful, and
she's hot to
Racquel,
trot.
She's hot to trot. I don't know if camel trot, is that a thing?
They do trot. Yes, that was another
trot,
that was another terrible joke. Yes.
Well, that's kind of the point of this whole thing, is that we're doing this.
Yeah.
The bear is hitting on her, and she's like, I'm really more into camels. Kind of like to keep it to my species. She's not very open-minded to dating other species, which is fine.
So she's a racist.
I mean, potentially, but maybe I don't know. Is she into ethnic cleansing? No, she doesn't. I mean,
Is she?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Sorry.
She has her taste. She's not opposed to other animals. She's not as interested in them, and that's okay. Like you can have your tastes. It doesn't make you racist. It just means that you have particular taste, and that's okay. You're allowed.
That is okay.
people don't know what you're attracted to, and that's okay. Like, if you're a bear, you got to shoot your shot at the blue camel.
That's
Maybe
right.
it doesn't come through. Anyway, everyone just keeps telling her how beautiful she is. So
Mhm.
there's a camel beauty contest that's coming to town. Camel pageants are very big in this world. Not, I mean, $60 million in Oman.
Camel Con.
Yeah, apparently having a beautiful, like, camels are generally considered in this world to be the most beautiful of all animals, and so even like an ugly camel still is like, they're kind of attractive. Like they got the humps, they got the
Mhm.
whole thing going there. But if you have a beautiful camel, it's almost like it's your civic duty in this world to participate in a beauty contest. And so she
Yeah.
decides, I'm going to enter this contest, not because I want to, but because it's my duty to do so because I am so
Yeah.
beautiful. She comes to terms with it. She doesn't really want to. Like she had a
Mhm.
well-rounded life. Her life was fine.
God damn it, well-rounded.
I didn't even do that on purpose, but that's good. She goes to the pageant, and she is a neophyte in the pageant scene. She doesn't understand what goes into it. So she's
Yeah.
backstage, and she sees the other camels that are preparing for this, and they're all jealous of her because she's blue.
Yeah.
And they're like, so some of the camels are actually trying to dye themselves blue, like they're getting into beds with brand new sheets that haven't been washed. It comes out splotchy though. Like Racquel is just a natural blue. And you can with camels you can tell. You can tell if it's a dye job or if it's a natural blue.
Can tell if it's a dye job.
And the dye job just doesn't look right. It doesn't match their skin tone. It's just a whole problem. And so like there are a bunch of camels that are trying in the early preliminary rounds that are trying to be blue, but they get eliminated really quickly because like we said, it's a dye job and you can tell.
Yeah,
It
you
doesn't
can tell.
look right. You can always tell. You can always tell. But Racquel is a natural blue. It's a very rare thing. She's the first and only. Everybody's just like, yeah, she's got it. But she's backstage and they are injecting themselves with Botox. They are pumping up their humps. They're doing anything they can.
Like steroids?
They're cheating. Oh yeah. This is
Okay.
it puts 1998 Major League Baseball like to shame the amount of performance enhancing drugs and
Okay.
filler and the kind of thing that's
Okay.
going on. Racquel though is like, I'm about the pure beauty. Like I am not going to inject my humps with anything. So her humps aren't quite as large as some of the other, but quite frankly, if you get some camels and their humps are just overinflated, like it doesn't look natural. It looks wrong. Like it's clearly those humps are too big. And they just look silly.
Right.
It's like a costume really more than like a
Yeah.
natural beauty thing. And the judges recognize this, and Racquel wins first place in the beauty contest. And the prize money in that is enough to set her up for life. So then she quits her job. She enjoyed being an accountant, but it didn't define her. It wasn't like the thing that she was passionate about. She's always wanted to help people. And by people, I mean other animals and stuff.
Right.
She hears about this village in Europe, and all of the animals. It started by someone starting Mr. Brightsides, and then everybody just started dancing.
And they can't stop?
But then they couldn't stop, Brian. Yeah, all the
Oh,
animals were
no.
just dancing, and so Raquel's like, you know what? I have the financial wherewithal to be able to really make a difference in this world, and I'm going to see if I can get these people to stop dancing. So she gets all the best scientists that she can hire because she's like independently wealthy now. She can do whatever she wants, but she decides she wants to help others, which I think it's admirable. So she goes to Strasbourg, which is this town, and she gets all the doctors involved, trying to figure out why are all these people dancing. And then they see her because she's there with them because
She's still blue.
it's when
I'm assuming
she's still blue. She's a natural blue. Yeah, she just bloomed, Brian. One day
A
she just
natural
turned blue.
You know, like a natural blonde. She's a
A
natural
natural
blue.
blonde. She's a natural blue. Exactly. So she's still stunning. Like she is a one of one. Like there are no
Right.
other blue camels in the world that are natural blue. But it's a thing to behold. And so her beauty actually calms everyone down. So like she had all these scientists trying to come up with some kind of a serum that would fix this problem.
Yeah.
But all of the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't keep people from dancing again or stop
That
dancing.
was
I
good.
don't know. Thank you. And they actually were all the king's horses. Men?
Right.
Are there men in
obviously,
this world? Probably not. It's just all the king's horses. They don't know what
Yeah.
a man is. A man is like a dragon. Like they have stories of men from back in the day, and then like there were dragons that would slay the men.
Mhm.
Like they were terrible beasts. But no one actually believes that men really exist. Like humans aren't a thing in this world.
Right.
Where was I? Oh yes, all the king's horses and all the king's
All the king's
theoretical
men,
men.
blah blah blah.
Yes, blah blah blah. They couldn't come up with a serum that would fix this problem. But But Raquel just walking through the streets of Strasbourg, like
Mm-hmm.
her beauty was so intense that it just calmed everyone down. And the calming presence of her beauty got them to stop dancing, Brian. So like
Okay, I'm really sad that they didn't have to go to a mountain shrine and pray.
yeah, well that was the next step in the if the walking through the town didn't work.
If everything else failed.
Fortunately, everything else failed, but her natural beauty saved the day, Brian. So then she just goes from town to town, like especially places where there's high anxiety, like a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know squirrels that are just too high strung, and she doesn't sell her services because she's a philanthropist. So she just goes to places where anxiety is high and allows her natural blue beauty to shine and make the world a better place. It's just a story. She's kind of like the Mother Teresa of the animal world now because wherever she goes, good things follow. And she still practices accounting a little bit on the side because she really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, okay.
yeah, yeah, and then she just makes the world a better place, and then the credits roll.
And then the credits roll. Okay. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
all right. All right. Here's my pitch.
Let's hear it.
We have a woman. Her name is Carmela.
Ooh, Carmela. Okay.
Carmela. Okay. And she's doing all right. She's surviving. Okay. And then she works in the news. She's kind of she's an assignment desk editor, right? And
Okay.
so it comes in, and wherever she lives, it's insert American city here. They send a picture and in a press release saying, "We're so proud of ourselves that we did this." And wouldn't you know it, everything on there is the perfect way to steal crypto money. And so she does. She
She's like,
steals
I'm
the
gonna take
money.
that money. Yeah.
She's
Why
like, "I'm gonna
not?
take that money." And so little by little, she, reinvests, or like she cashes it out, to do little things, so it's not all obvious that she stole the money. And she's also, it's like, "Oh my God, somebody saw that. Oh no, who did that?" It was her.
I don't know. Yeah, it was her.
Journalistic integrity is, a little wishy-washy here. And
Her stories are truthful. It's just that she steals money.
right, she stole a couple $1 million, right?
Yeah.
So
It's from Crypto Bros, so that's not even really a
yeah,
crime.
yeah, it's not really a crime. So she takes the money, and so she slowly is like, you know what, and she uses the money and she starts working on stuff, and then she here and there gets lip filler, starts
Okay.
starts doing that, starts doing that sort of thing, and everyone's like, "Oh no, something's new, something's different." And Estella's like, "Yeah," or Carmela is like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And then she's like, "You know what I'm gonna do with this money? I'm gonna go travel." So she travels to a place where there is a camel convention, camel con. And she's like, "Okay, well, this is really weird because all these camels look fake, and I didn't realize this what actually camels look like." And so she's like, "Yeah, I'm not really into this." And so she wanders around the little town, and just people just start like doing a jig, like it's a conga line, right? And she doesn't think anything of it because it starts in a pub, but like it isn't stopping. Like the conga line won't stop. And then here's the weird thing is that the animals start joining, like squirrels,
Ooh, okay.
birds, and foxes and badgers and all of that, right? So she's like, "Oh no, something's wrong." And so she's able to stop. And she's like, "This is very weird. Why are all these animals dancing?" And then the camels start joining in. And it's really kind of weird and surreal, right? She's like, "What's going on? What's going on? There's no way to do this." And so she's thinking, "Okay, how can we make this stop?" And so she grabs like a bucket of blue paint and like throws it on one of the people and the animal, and they stop.
It's like throwing a slice of cheese onto a toddler's face. They just stop.
Exactly, yeah, they just stop. And so they just stop dancing. And so she's like, "Oh my God, this worked." And so she starts doing that, and like so the dancing epidemic stops before it began. And so she goes back home and tells this story. But when she gets to work, everybody's like, who are you? What are you doing? How'd you get in?" She's like, it's me, it's Carmela, it's Carmela." And they're like, "Yeah, but I've never seen a camel that can talk." And it turns out that Carmela had been getting those procedures and became a camel,
Wow, I did not see that coming.
a human camel hybrid. And so
Hamel.
a Hamel, yes. And she looked, and the final shot is her looking at herself in the mirror, and the hooves, and her going, "Ah." Yeah,
The world's first Hamel.
yeah. But we're gonna have it to where it's like slowly, like she thinks she's still human, but people are like looking at her weird, and she doesn't
Yeah.
think anything of it. So yeah, it'll be a gradual progression. It becomes
Mm.
a body horror after a surreal horror.
Is Hamel better than cumin?
Yeah, Hamil's better than cumin. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you know what's better than both of those things?
Q-tips.
Q-tips.
Come to the party. We're gonna get Q-tips. Pew! We got
But
real
do you
loud
know how to
music.
use Q-tips?
Do you know how to use Q-tips? Oh no! No one knows how to use Q-tips. How would we do that? Pew pew!
You'd go into your medicine cabinet and you'd grab
yeah.
the box. You flip that bad boy around and you read the back.
read. You gotta read that Q-tip.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
Untitled with Brian and Craig is produced and edited by me, Brian Dunnigan. It is also hosted by me, Brian Dunnigan, as well as Craig Dodge. Opening and ending themes are created by AI, so nobody has license to those.